Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalm 23, verse 6. On January 8, 1956, 5 American missionaries were speared to death by a violent tribe of warriors on a sandbar in the heart of the Ecuadorian jungle. These 5 men, Jim Elliott, Ed McCauley, Roger Udarian, Pete Fleming, and Nate Saint, were trying to reach the unreached Woodani Indians with the gospel of Jesus Christ. The missionaries had spent several weeks dropping gifts into the village from a Piper airplane, piloted by Nate Saint. Encouraged by the friendly connection they thought they were building, the missionaries landed their plane on the beach on that fateful day. But the violent Woodani distrusted the foreigners and speared them all to death. The tragic news captured worldwide attention. Why would God allow such a horrible tragedy to befall those who loved and served Him? It seemed so senseless and sad. That might be true if the story ended there. 2 years after their deaths, Elizabeth, Jim's widow, with her 3-year-old daughter, and Rachel Saint, Nate's sister, went to live among Woodani and resumed the unfinished business the men had begun. For 3 years, the woman lived among the people, learned their language, and shared the gospel. Over the next several years, most of the villagers decided to walk a new trail and converted to Christ. Among the new trail walkers were 6 men from the murder party, including their brutal leader Mincaye. He had thrust the final spear into Nate Saint. Goodness and mercy shall follow. This story of reconciliation and redemption spans over 65 years, but its legacy will endure long after that. In an act of reconciliation only the Lord could orchestrate, Mincaye and Steve, Nate's son, reconciled, and Mincaye was adopted as grandfather into Steve's family. Mincaye completed his trail and walked straight into heaven in April 2020. The senseless tragedy turned into a redemptive story that inspired millions and prompted countless others to go into mission work. God's goodness and mercy are at work in a million different ways in your life too. Until you've completed your trail, pray for eyes to see all the ways His goodness and mercy are chasing after you. Amen. Psalm 23, verse 6, a Psalm of David. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Amen. Psalm 145, verse 4, a Psalm of praise of David. One generation commends your works to another, they tell of your mighty acts. Amen. Genesis chapter 50, verse 20. You intended to harm me, but God intended for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives. Amen. Lamentations chapter 3, verses 22 to 23. Because of the Lord's great love we are not consumed, for His compassions never fail. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Amen.